Let me paint a picture for you. Imagine standing backstage at New York Fashion Week, not as a spectator in the audience, not as someone scrambling for a quick photo or posting a blurry clip to Instagram, but as someone whose name is printed on the banners, whose beauty brand is in the makeup kits of professional stylists, whose logo is on the products glowing across models' skin, and whose daughter's tennis line is about to debut down the runway in front of fashion insiders, celebrities, and industry leaders. That's not a dream. That's reality. That's exactly where Melody Sharif found herself. And the truth is, this moment wasn't luck. It wasn't handed to her. It was years in the making, powered by resilience, sharp business moves, and a level of execution that most people only talk about but rarely achieve. And here's the thing. Melody didn't just show up. She owned it. While others in the spotlight of love and marriage Huntsville spent time tangled in drama, chasing attention, or rehashing the same tired arguments, Melody was quietly, yet powerfully, building something real. She was stacking bricks of legacy. Her beauty brand, 7th Avenue Beauty, didn't just sneak into Fashion Week for a fleeting mention or a background moment. It was featured. It was spotlighted. Her products weren't there as fillers. They were part of the glow that models carried with confidence down one of the most prestigious runways in the world. And beyond that, her athleisure line was out there catching stares, proving that she is not simply dabbling in fashion, she is embedding herself into it. But then came the cherry on top, something that shifted this moment from powerful to iconic. 13-year-old Mariah, Melody's daughter, made her own debut. Her tennis line, colorful, bold, filled with vision and personality, walked down that same runway. And it wasn't treated as a gimmick or a novelty. It was presented like it belonged there, right alongside established brands that have been in the game for decades. This was more than just a proud mom moment, though it absolutely was that too. It was generational success playing out live before our eyes. A few years ago, Melody promised that she would knock down doors so her children could walk through them. And now, Mariah's name is entering rooms that adults spend their lives dreaming of. That isn't just parenting. That's foresight, that's strategy, that's vision for legacy. But let's rewind. Melody didn't begin this journey with a silver spoon, with the perfect marriage, or with a clean slate. Her story is one that many of her fans and followers know all too well. Her divorce from Martell Holt was not just difficult, it was messy, public, and painful. It played out on television, across headlines, and on social media, the kind of spectacle that could have easily crushed someone's spirit. For many people, that kind of turmoil would have been the end of their story, a breaking point that left them defeated. But Melody flipped the script. Instead of shrinking in the face of humiliation, she expanded. Instead of allowing betrayal and heartbreak to define her, she used it as fuel. And that fire has carried her farther than most ever expected. That resilience, that refusal to be defeated, turned into one of the most loyal fan bases in the game. People don't just casually support Melody, they ride for her. They see themselves in her journey, the pain, the perseverance, the ability to turn chaos into opportunity. And that loyalty, it shows up every single time she launches something new. Products sell out, lives get flooded with thousands of viewers, her followers don't just watch, they participate. And that's rare. In a world where reality TV stars often fade after the cameras stop rolling, Melody has transformed her moment into movement. Now here's the wild part. While Melody was backstage at New York Fashion Week, celebrating a career milestone and opening doors for her daughter, her ex, Martell, was popping up in headlines once again, for all the wrong reasons. And if you've been paying attention, you know the pattern. Fans call it clockwork. Every time Melody secures a big win, every time her name starts trending for something positive, there seems to be noise, distraction, or drama coming from Martell's direction. Some even believe it's intentional, that he's trying to pull the spotlight back onto himself whenever her star shines too bright. And honestly, when you look at the timing, it's not hard to see why they think that. But Melody doesn't just win. She wins with style, with grace, and most importantly, with receipts. Let's talk about her private Facebook group. Over 4,400 members deep and growing every week, this isn't just some casual fan page. It's a full ecosystem, a space where she connects directly with her supporters, drops exclusive updates, and shares behind-the-scenes moments without the mess of mainstream drama. She's controlling her narrative. She's creating a space that isn't just about gossip, but about growth, support, and real connection. That's how you build community. That's how you turn casual fans into a loyal inner circle. And Melody isn't doing this alone. She's got a team, people like Canavius and Miss Deborah, who she calls her executive team for 7th Avenue Beauty. These aren't just assistants or background helpers. They're part of a movement. From Huntsville, they're packing orders, running logistics, and making sure the products move with the precision of a professional operation. Melody doesn't just work with them, she uplifts them. She reposts their efforts, shines light on their contributions, and makes sure her audience knows this isn't a one-woman show. That's not just business, that's culture building. That's showing people what it looks like to create something that includes everyone around you, not just yourself. But what really sets Melody's success apart is the intention. Every single move she makes has purpose behind it. Whether it's hyping up her friend Shanita Foster's global feature, dropping new body elixirs like Rose and Peach, or surprising fans on live streams with cruise giveaways, everything she does is calculated to create a moment. And the beautiful thing about Melody is that she doesn't just create moments for herself, she creates moments for others too. Every time she raises the bar, she shows her audience what success after reality TV can actually look like. It's not about scandal, it's not about clinging to the spotlight. It's about transformation, elevation, and building something lasting. Now, let's go back to Mariah, because her debut deserves more than a passing mention. At only 13 years old, Mariah didn't just attach her name to a collection. She came with vision. Her tennis line wasn't flat or generic. It had personality, color, and confidence. It was vibrant, it was fun, and it carried the kind of energy that made it feel like it belonged on that runway, right next to seasoned designers. And when Mariah sent her a picture of a model wearing one of her pieces, her response was simple but powerful. OMG, I love it. And that reaction, that pure joy, is what this is all about. Melody gave her daughter a front row seat to what hard work and perseverance look like. And Mariah took it, embraced it, and added her own magic. That's legacy in motion. And that's what makes this moment so powerful. Melody could have easily made New York Fashion Week about herself, her brand, her products, her spotlight, but instead she chose to share the stage, to make room for her daughter and to shine a light on the next generation. That says a lot about who she is. She's not just building success for herself, she's building a foundation for her children to stand on. And that, more than anything else, is why people are paying attention. This isn't just fashion, this is family legacy unfolding right before our eyes. And let's not overlook the details, because that's where Melody's story gets even richer. Her backstage footage wasn't just selfies and good vibes. It was gratitude, preparation, professionalism. Models weren't just wearing her products, they were talking about her kindness. One even said they had never met someone so welcoming and generous in such a competitive, ego-driven industry. That kind of energy, it's rare, but it's also exactly what makes Melody different. She's Southern, she's grounded, she's real, and she carries that authenticity everywhere she goes. And even the products themselves carry legacy. The glow butter that models were using backstage, that wasn't just a random formula. It came from her grandmother's recipe. Think about that for a second. Melody stood in one of the most elite fashion spaces in the world and brought with her a piece of her family's story, a piece of her roots. That's not just smart branding, that's a full circle moment. From pageants to heartbreak to mogul status, Melody has woven her history into her present. Every win is layered with meaning, and that's why it resonates so deeply with people. In social media, they ate it up. From her NYFW posts to her cruise giveaways to the behind-the-scenes clips, her followers were locked in. And when she mentioned that glow butter had been used backstage, the comment section lit up. People weren't just congratulating her, they were asking for links, product drops, and launch dates. That's the power of execution. She didn't just show up to Fashion Week, she leveraged it. She converted it. She turned a moment into momentum. But of course, not everyone is clapping. You know how it goes. The louder the applause, the louder the critics. And Melody has her share of critics, many of them closer than you'd expect. Certain cast members from Love and Marriage Huntsville seem to bristle whenever Melody's name trends for the right reasons. Whether it's Letitia throwing shade with side eyes during interviews or Wanda firing off digs on social media, the energy is clear. Not everyone is happy for her, but the difference is, Melody doesn't care. She's too focused on building. She's too busy expanding. While they're distracted by pettiness, she's dropping new products, hosting mega live streams, and giving away cruises. She's creating a cycle of momentum that others simply can't touch. And that's the point. When you look around at the other cast members, nobody else is hitting this level of visibility. Not at Fashion Week, not with a beauty line making real numbers, not with VIP events selling out in days. Melody's success isn't a one-time spike. It's consistent, it's strategic, it's elevated, and it's intentional. She's mastered the art of showing up, not just randomly, but with purpose. And her audience knows it. They know that every post, every drop, every live stream is going to bring value. And that's why they stay loyal. Meanwhile, Martell has been trying to reposition himself. But let's be real, the gap between his noise and Melody's moves is widening every single day. While she's building, innovating, and leading, he seems to be stuck in reruns of drama, and the timing of his headlines often feels suspicious. Big Melody win? Suddenly Martell pops up with something eyebrow-raising. Fans aren't stupid. They see the pattern. But here's the beautiful twist. Every time it happens, it just makes people root for Melody even harder. Because she doesn't just rise, she rises through resistance. And that's why the narrative has shifted. People don't just see Melody as another cast member anymore. They see her as a brand, as a blueprint, as a standard. And with Mariah by her side, the story only gets more emotional. Mothers everywhere are touched by the way Melody isn't just giving her daughter the spotlight, she's teaching her how to own it. The business, the strategy, the gratitude, it's all being passed down. And it feels real because it is real. It's not staged for likes, it's lived experience turned into legacy. Back home in Huntsville, the work doesn't stop. Canavius and Miss Deborah are still packing orders, still holding it down for SAB with quiet consistency. Melody calls them her executive team because they're more than employees, they're partners in building something bigger. And she doesn't just employ them, she empowers them. She reposts their work, acknowledges their effort, and makes sure everyone sees what execution looks like. That's leadership, that's culture, that's how you build something sustainable. And all this comes at a time when Love and Marriage Huntsville is reportedly on pause until November. Some say it's just a break. Others whisper it's because the energy behind the scenes has gotten tense. Storylines are stale, cast dynamics are off, and let's be honest, it can't be easy watching Melody ascend while others stay stuck in the same cycles. Because when one person is building a multi-million-dollar brand and walking runways, while others are recycling beef from 2 years ago, the contrast becomes impossible to ignore. And fans have noticed. They're not just watching the show anymore. They're following Melody beyond it. TikTok, Facebook groups, Instagram, pop-ups, live streams. Her influence stretches far past reality TV. When she speaks, people listen. When she drops, they buy. When she announces giveaways, they scramble to join in. And that's not hype, that's trust. She's been showing up consistently for her audience, and now they're showing up for her.
One post that resonated deeply was when Melody shared the words, "No weapon formed against me shall prosper." And if you've been following her journey, you know that wasn't just a caption. That was her truth. And every moment since then, from New York Fashion Week to Mariah's debut, from her private group to her growing beauty empire, proves exactly that. She's not just surviving the chaos, she's thriving beyond it. She's the living reminder that you can rebuild, reinvent, and rise. And she's rising louder than ever. So here's the question for you. Is Melody Cherie setting the new standard for what success after reality TV can look like? Let's talk about it in the comments. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like this video, hit that subscribe button, and share it with someone who needs a little inspiration today. Because Melody isn't just building a brand, she's building a legacy. And this is only the beginning.